Got some stickers to throw up, guys. Aiden, it took you like a whole year, but I finally got your sticker, bro. Let's get it up here. If I can get it, there we go. Okay. I think I got room. Let's put you up here, bro. Cool, and then I got one from Lawn Journeys and Lawn and Life. Let's get them on the board, and then we can hop into these worm castings. Thanks for sending me the stickers. And if you want to swap any stickers with me, guys, the way to do that is just send me a DM on Instagram. Slap Lawn Journeys right there. And then the Lawn and Life. Make sure you go check out these channels if you're into lawn care. If you're into gardening and want to see some nice lawns, these are also some cool channels to check out. Get this last sticker on. And then got some space right there. Boom. All right. Looking good. Got anybody in the chat? How y'all doing today? And it is hot. Boy, it is hot today. Let's get you moved over here to the main set. Got enough stickers? I know, right? I'm gonna turn this around so I can see when y'all are talking. Hey, Mary Mary Birch. Hey, Turf. All in the chat. Like the hat? You like that? Yeah, I just, you know, they sent me this hat. It's been sitting in my living room for a few days. You know, took my time opening it. But yeah, I like the hat too. I'm a huge fan. So what we're going to do today, guys, is I am going to show you guys what it looks like when you're harvesting worm castings out of this thing. I'm actually out, so because I'm out of the worm castings, I need to harvest some more. So what's up, Kenny? What's going on, bro? So yeah, let me see. Hey, Cakes. You mean worm poop? Yeah, worm poop. Worm poop. I actually, let me see. Boom. I got this light. Okay, so the light's on there for a reason. What we need to do actually is I need to get some food up here. This bottom shelf right here, guys, is full, as you can see. Can you see that? Bring you in. This. How about this? How about I flip around to a better camera, and then I'll just check in on the chat every so often, because I want you guys to be able to see this. So it'd make more sense if I just use this camera. Yeah. You got your 360 a few days ago? Nice. Hey, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I promise you. I promise you, you're gonna love it. So this was the last one I kind of topped off, and it compressed a little bit, but I'm not gonna add anything else to this. But they're in good shape over here. They're liking this bedding / food that I set up for them. And there's really nothing else I have to do to this bin. This is what it looks like. We're only, a couple weeks in on this bin. So that's what it looks like. But I'm going to show you what one looks like when it's ready. Before I do that, we need to feed. I'm going to go ahead and put food down here, not only for the worms that are below, but the worms up top. So while we're here, this is my little worm composting thing. I got it off Amazon for like 15 bucks. Sit in the house, and as long as you don't put anything that you're not supposed to put in the worms, it won't stink. I promise you. It doesn't smell at all. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and mix some of this stuff up real quick. I can kind of still see the comments. If you have questions, just let me know. I'm still, you mean worm poop? My chickens would make a nice meal out of those guys. Yeah, I bet they would. These are not for your chickens, though. Not for your chickens at all. What's going on, Ron? Will, you at work? Thanks for popping in. Okay, so I got some shredded up paper, no plastic, and then we just need to get that ratio right. Like I said in my last video, not my last one, but the last video I did about worm castings. You just get that ratio right real quick. There's, there's plenty of moisture in here already, so I'm not looking to add any more. And like I said, these is mostly just waste from, stuff we either didn't eat or like banana peels and eggshells, etc. So you just make sure you got a good mix in there to where a whole bunch of moisture isn't running off. And it's cool because what this is going to do is attract the worms that are below. They're going to migrate upwards, which is what this factory is designed to do. And then after they migrate upwards to get into this new cell, when we start harvesting the cell that's on the bottom, that we'll get to here in a minute, as soon as I get done mixing this stuff up, those worms are going to move right into a brand new bed full of food. So, yeah, I think this is pretty cool. And this doesn't cost you anything, guys, and it's great for your garden. And I've actually been using it in my lawn as well. I haven't seen any visual indication of it doing anything as far as a color change in my lawn. But whenever I give it to the plants, man, I swear they grow overnight. Every single time I give them a dosing. And it's time for me to give them another dosing, but I'm out of worm castings. So since I'm out of worm castings, it's time to harvest. And I ran out just in time because, I'm running out of the worm castings, but the next level is ready to harvest. So that's perfect, which is why I really like this system. Don't get me wrong, you can get away with doing this in a bin. Get you a little $10 bin from Walmart and you can still pull this off. But this just makes things a little bit easier for me when it comes to managing and a quicker harvest. I don't have to bait this out of the bin. I kind of just look at it, and when I know that it's ready to go, I'll pull it up. So that should be good. There's still some moisture in there, but not too much. Put a little bit more in there. And then what we'll do is we will bring up the bottom tray and I'll show you how we get the worms to move down. Yeah. How's everybody's day going now? Hey Grace, how you doing? Can you use coffee grounds or do the worms not? No, they love coffee grounds, bro. There's some coffee grounds in here for sure. Yep. We all on it. That's right. Eminem Squad. We all on it. Can you use coffee? Yeah. And mentioning coffee grounds, I'm glad you brought that up for people. And I'll say this a couple times while I'm live today. Coffee grounds. If you are not a coffee drinker, but you want the benefits of coffee in your garden or for your worms, all you got to do is swing by Starbucks. Now, I didn't know this because I never go to Starbucks. But what they have is From Grounds to Coffee is the program it's called. Now, I first heard about this from Garden Love. Diana on Garden Love, she was talking about, go ask your coffee shops and they'll give you some coffee grounds for free. Now, what I did not know though was that it's a whole program. It's an entire program where they literally save the coffee grounds and they wait for gardeners to come by and ask for the coffee grounds. And when you ask, they'll give them to you. They give you as many as you want based off how much they have for the day. And the only thing I will caution you on is when you're feeding them to your worms, don't put too much in. And by too much, you don't want your coffee grounds to be more than, I'd say, a quarter of the food that you're feeding them. And the reason why is because coffee, we know, is a nitrogen source and it gets hot. and it gets hot fast. So you will literally fry your worms. I almost did it. I put too much coffee in, I went back to check on it, and literally it was about to start steaming. I think I took the temperature, and it was like 110 degrees. It was incredibly warm. So don't do that. I've made that mistake for you. Do not do that. So as you can see, hi Nadine. Hi Garden and Eden. What about tea bags? Yes, you can put the tea bag, you can put the tea and the tea bag in there. The spent tea and the tea bag, no problem. Also the coffee filter too. They don't mind that at all. So now all we're gonna do, right, is literally, I got this light right here that you see in the corner, and I am going to blast this light on it. Now, the light in this garage alone really is probably adequate enough that you run them down, but I like to kind of push it to the limit. Shout out to Lawn Pusher, and get them to move a little faster. So what I do is I literally just expose them to the sun, to the light, and you can watch them. Let's see if I can. Will this let me zoom? I don't think so. Can I zoom? How can I zoom? I don't think I can zoom. Let me just bring you in closer. How about that? All right, let's bring you in closer. So what you'll see happening is once they realize there's somewhere else to go, they'll go. And they move down. Like, look at that one. He's getting up out of there. He's like, man, what you doing with all this sun, man? All this light, look at that one. He's about to go. And then they just move down to the next cell. Now this takes about, what's going on left too? That's one of my favorite people right there. I just watched y'all's video with Matt Martin, because no one just says Matt. And that was pretty cool on the PGR. Lots of good information from Matt. And actually, I'll have a video coming out on Anew in about a week or so, guys. My experience using it here on the cool season lawn. You don't usually see that, but you can see the worms. Like this one right here. He's getting out of there. Oh, that's another one. You see him? Yeah, so I turn it, and then they move down. And once they finish moving down, I take all this stuff out here. Now you'll have chunks in here, a couple chunks, and really you can just feed that right back into the system. Like this one right here, it's not completely broken down, but I can just literally throw that into the bin underneath there, and they'll keep on working on it. But this is in good shape to go ahead and get harvested. So that's all I do. It's really that easy. Really that easy, peeps. So you saw me feed them, and now they're moving down to their next cell so they can get harvested. Let me move this back around. What'd you say, Kenny? It's fun. It's hot in here, by the way. It's fun after a rain in the dark. On my putting green, I can walk around with a flashlight and big earthworms disappear so fast. Yeah, yep. They don't like light. Oh. You know, left two, how's it going? Worm poop. Yep, poop. Worm poop. Yeah, but that's the process. That's it. It's not any more exciting than that. The last time I harvested these, I actually I let it sit overnight. It only took about an hour and a half max to get them all to move down. But I just wanted to keep working it, and I wasn't in a rush. Just like tonight, I'm not in a rush. We're supposed to have some rain coming, so hopefully I'm able to capture a good bit of rainwater so I can start my brew up tomorrow. If you guys are interested in that, I do have a video on it, but I can go live and show you how I set that up real quick. But I'm gonna brew 17 gallons of it completely. Thanks for hitting the like sub button for everyone who came through. I'm on a little bike ride watching. Nice. So those worms on the top tray will go down to the bottom tray, and then what do you do with the top tray? Right. He just drove by you. So The worms, Grace, yes. These worms are literally going to go down to the bottom tray once they have all left the bottom tray. And you guys, you see a whole bunch of eggshells in here, and that's because the worms don't actually eat the eggshells. But what it does, it acts like perlite for this mixture. So it just gives, as they break down, once you put them in your garden over time, and it releases it to the plants in a releasable, in a digestible form that's good for them, and it gives you air inside of the actual compost itself. So that's good. But what you do is once I harvest all this, I make worm tea out of mine, Grace, as you already know. And then this bottom tray, once it's empty, we restart the cycle. That's it. That's why it's a factory. It's a non-stop factory. You always got your worms working for you. You're always bringing your trash out of the house, your refuse, your compostable materials that are good for worms right out here. It doesn't go in the landfill, and it goes right back in your garden or in your lawn, which is good for both. But I'll let you know, I've ran a few tests and I'm not really seeing a big visual indication of any change when it comes to using it in your lawn. But I know that, you're introducing microbes into the lawn. So I know that even though I might not be able to see the benefits of what's happening, I still know it's good for my lawn overall. So you only use the harvest for tea? No, Grace. So I harvest them, I use the tea, and then even when you're done, you can still use because all you did when we're making the tea, we're taking the microorganisms that are already living and existing inside of this compost, and we are literally just multiplying it. So like I said in that video, I just threw a number out there because I don't have the actual scientific data to do it. If I had a microscope, I'd throw it under the microscope and I would count the cells and get actual numbers for you. But the idea is you multiply those microorganisms, but the worm castings themselves, the ones that you just use, there's still much life and nutrients inside of that. So you're literally just robbing the microorganisms out of it, where you're not even robbing them, you're just multiplying them. You put that in your garden because those microbes go straight into the soil and they get straight to work. That's the kind of benefit of being able to do it that way. And then you still take the castings and mix it up in your soil amendments. That's it. Just throw it right back in your garden. Or you could throw it right back in your bin because worms are nasty and they'll eat their poop again. I think I saw another question pop up. Robert question, it's off topic. Question off topic. This afternoon I found lots of gnat type bugs in my yard today. I mean lots. How do I get rid of them naturally, and what caused the gnats? Are you sure they're gnat? How big are they? And they're just in your yard, or are they on the lawn, or are they flying around stuff? Are we talking about fungus gnats? Because if it's fungus gnats, all you gotta do is dry out that area and they'll go away. I got worms. That's where we're going to call it. We specialize in selling our own worm farms. All right, wife getting mad and watching turf therapy instead of watching the road. Good to see you, Rob. You too, brother. Thanks for stopping in. Justin's in the house, in the building. Justin, I'm so mad that we're not going to be able to do that thing. I mean, we still might be able to do it. I shot the first portion of it. You know what I'm talking about. I shot the first portion of it today, and we'll see. We'll see how long ago. In the pots, wood, on plants, etc. Yeah, Miss B. So Miss MB. It sounds like, yeah, it'll happen eventually. It sounds like what you're dealing with is too much moisture, and if those are fungus gnats, little tiny fungus gnats, it's too much moisture. Now the thing is, I have them over here in my raised bed by the cucumbers because I keep the cucumbers pretty moist because cucumbers like a lot of moisture. Same with the tomatoes that I have planted too close together. And to be honest, other than them being a nuisance, I don't see any adverse effect that they're having on the actual food as well. But if your plant can handle it, especially if it's like a citrus plant or something, just let it dry out. And actually, if you have wood chips, like if you have mulch on top of those containers that you're using, then remove the mulch so it can dry out, and just be cognizant, because that mulch, when you put the mulch on top of the soil, the whole point is for it to hold that moisture longer. So if you're not going to be getting rid of the moisture, then you're making it perfect conditions for the fungus gnats to jump in there. And then that's when, you see them and it looks like they're bothering your plants, but I promise you, well, I don't know of the fungus gnats hurting the plants, and they haven't hurt any of my plants. They're just more so a nuisance, especially when you're talking about indoor plants. They're a pain in the butt, you know what I mean? So I would try the moisture. Does that sound like that would help you? It was 104 yesterday and today. It's a hot mess. Okay, so do you think, like, are those plants that you're talking about, do they stay pretty moist? Because if they stay pretty moist, that's probably what they are. That's probably what they are. Want to see this? Nice, I'm new here. Hi, Tina. Welcome. Welcome. I don't have like a cool phrase or anything when someone shows up. I don't know what this is. I'm thinking about calling these therapy sessions. Yeah, y'all like those? Like that when I just go live unannounced? I think I'm gonna call them therapy sessions. I like that. Let me know if I got any thumbs up. But Justin, I know you don't like this part because they're worms and whatnot. But yeah, so that side I just got done with, and they were all gone when I looked back down. So they move like, it seems like they're moving slow, but you turn your head, you talk for 10 minutes, you come back, and they are gone, and they just drive straight down. And when they get done, I'll take this little piece of brown paper bag, and I will cover it to make sure it doesn't dry out. But there was plenty of moisture in there, so they should be fine. Those girls shoot out so much. That's so weird. NF therapy session for the intro. NF. No filter? No filter therapy central? The therapy am I picking that up right? Worms are great. Send me some of that brown paper bag. You know what's going on. On it. That's funny. What's up, B. Davis in the house? I wanted to start my own worm bed. What's stopping you, Tina? You should. The benefits, the impact on the environment. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. So the impact on the environment alone is worth the benefit, even if you just do it and give it to somebody else that has a garden. He's a hip hop guy. That's the name of his song, Therapy Session. NF. Who's NF? I've never heard of NF. I see you handling it. What's up, AJ? So Tina, boom. See the guy underneath you? Tina Bellini, you are soon. So if you don't want to spend money on a Wormcast, go check out AJ's Green Topics, because he does all of his stuff in bins. Maybe he does have a Worm Factory 360. I've never seen it, but he does all of his stuff in bins, and he has a much stronger catalog when it comes to red wigglers and European night crawlers, and he tells you about the benefits. And especially if you I would assume if you're a fisher, it's beneficial for you to have the European night crawlers as well, because you can use them for fishing. They're a lot hardier. Yeah, he just used totes. AJ, I'm subscribing to you also. Yeah, go check out AJ. He just uses totes and they work. The only thing about the totes that I do not like, that the Wormcast 360 beats it hands down, is you have to migrate your worms when it's time to harvest. Whereas with the Worm Factory 360, look, all those worms, they're gone. They're gone. They already moved down. I got some over here. Let's go ahead and upset them real quick. And they will move down. They don't like the light, they'll move down, and we'll be done. Now, if you're not in a rush or anything, the tote does you just fine, no problem there. But I just like this because it's literally a factory, non-stop factory. I can continuously push food, and if you want to increase the amount of worms you have, this is a nice little trick I do when I'm leading up to a harvesting that I actually learn from AJ. Is I kind of starve my worms. I won't feed them. I won't feed them for like a week and a half. And what they do is the same thing that the plants do when they think they're about to die. They multiply. They multiply, they reproduce. So when they multiply and they reproduce, it's like I beef up my worm population right before I harvest and push them to a whole new cell. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, so he's got a lot of cool tips. He's got a lot more experience with worms than I do, for sure. Just popped in for a moment. Keep up the therapy turf. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. All right, Miss MB. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate that. Yeah, I didn't intend to be on here long, guys. I just wanted to give you a live shot of what this looks like. Boom, look, they're already gone. All those worms, they're gone. Now I bet, see, some of them get lazy. They'll just like, I noticed that. They'll get lazy. You know, they all fat and full of a whole bunch of food. And what they'll do is they'll just move to another dark place inside of the castings instead of going down all the way. So you just play with it a little bit. But the cool thing about the I gotta go. All right, Justin, thanks for dropping in, brother. Enjoy your vacation. But the cool thing about when I brew up the tea, all right, brother. Yeah, see you later, AJ. Thanks for stopping in. The cool thing about when I brew up the tea is you don't lose any worms. You don't lose any worms because there's so much air inside of the water. The worms actually can survive. Hit the like button on the way in too. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, smash the like button, people. Appreciate that. But it keeps your worms alive. So, and I'll show you that one day when I get done with the brew. Maybe I won't go live when I set up the brew tomorrow, but what I'll do is I'll go live when I get done with the brew, so you can see when I cut open the tea bag, how the worms that you can't get them all out. The worms that did survive, they're still alive. They're in there because there was so much water, so much air, oxygen in the water that they were able to still support the worm's life. So I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anybody else got anything going there? Any other questions about worms and the worm castings or how to use them in your garden or, you know, Grace had some good questions or specifically with the Worm Factory 360. I'm here. I'm here. I'm all ears. All ears. We still got 11 people in here. But yeah, let me flip you around. How about raising worms for your chickens? I would do European night crawlers. It'd be they're nice and fat, and you knock out two birds with one stone, Kenny, because you can take those castings and you can still use it, like especially in your flower bed and stuff like that. When you plant your bulbs, you can still use that around your house. And if you were going to go that route, if you were just raising them for your chickens, I would use a tote. I would do AJ's method. I wouldn't wait. I mean, it's not a waste of money if you buy one of these, but I wouldn't worry about spending all the money on these. I would do the tote style of doing it and get you some European the European night crawlers. They're just bigger versions of the red wigglers. They work just as hard, and they're good for fishing too. And you got that beach, you got the man-made beach, so that'd be perfect. Wow, you have chickens. What kind of chickens you got? How fast do they breed? Any clue? You can, yeah, I don't. So like I started with 500 worms and I was told that within a month I would have a couple thousand. I know that there's a crap ton of worms in here now, but like I said, there's tricks to make them repopulate a little faster. And one of those tricks is once their environment is stable, you can starve them. Just starve them a little bit and they get scared and they think they're gonna die, so then they just start reproducing. I have chickens. This is really good advice. I'm so glad yeah, all right. I'm glad you're getting something from it. How fast do they breed? Yeah, okay. A crap ton. Kid caught a fish with grandpa on Sunday, crap ton. What's the lifespan of your worms? So as long as I keep their environment, the right temperature, the right moisture, it's a self-sustaining ecosystem. I don't have to do anything to it. They reproduce. They constantly have little cocoons. Let me see if I can find a cocoon for you. Yep. Here we go. So these little things right here, let's see if I can get it to focus on just what I want it to. It's like a little ball. Where do you buy worms? So you can buy them. That little ball, that little cocoon, that's the eggs. So they constantly reproduce and they repopulate themselves. I don't have to do anything for them. Now, if you need to start from fresh, I got mine from my extension office. That's where I discovered worms. I have to get Grandpa going on the worm farm. Yeah, it's super easy and passive for him to do too. Super easy and passive. Get you a freaking $10 tote and you're in there. But what was the question? I forgot it. Where do I buy worms? So you can buy worms on Amazon. What is his name? Jim's Worms Farms. Yeah, some people sell their worms like AJ's Green Topics. He'll sell worms. I'm not really interested in selling my worms. I'll be honest. But if you were local or close to me, I would just give you a handful of them, to be honest. That's really all you need to get going. If you know anyone who already is into vermicomposting, just get a handful of the worms. Now, don't go in your backyard and dig up some earthworms, because those are not the same kind of worms at all. There's like a little flying fly that is biting the crap out of me. He just keeps landing on me, biting me, and running. I hate flies as much as I hate mosquitoes right about now. I don't have to deal with any mosquitoes. I'm just dealing with biting flies. But but yeah, that's how I would get my worms. Amazon, and even on Amazon, I think they're selling this straight from Uncle Jim's farm. I think that's what it's called, Uncle Jim's farm. But don't go out in your backyard and dig up earthworms, because earthworms will not like this environment. The reason why you use red wigglers and European night crawlers and not regular night crawlers is, one, night crawlers will actually come out of the bin. They will come out of the bin at night, and you don't want that, especially if you got this set up in your kitchen or something like that. You come downstairs for a midnight snack and you stepping on the worm, you're not going to be happy. And I'm pretty sure that's going to get you in trouble with someone, whether you're the male or the female. You're going to have some problems. But the red wigglers, they like to stay wherever they're comfortable. So they're not going to leave. That's the kind of worm they are. And they love to eat the little waste that we have. So they eat it, they poop it out, and then it turns into black gold, and we use it in our garden and our lawns. Really cool. And then the European night crawlers, Euro night crawlers to be specific, not just your night crawlers out there. So earthworms will die in this habitat from what I've read. I can't remember why, but they eventually they'll die in here, and they won't repopulate the way that red wigglers do. And then the European night crawlers is just a jumbo version of the red wigglers that I have here today. That's it. So those are the two worms that I know, or two easy go-tos that a lot of worm farms use. And instead of buying it dry, just make it yourself at home. And as long as you're giving them a well-balanced diet, your worms should be having a well-balanced diet. Speaking of which, my soil, the guys that sent me this hat, I'm thinking, let me know if you guys are interested in it, but I'm thinking of getting one of those kits and testing these worm castings to see what that looks like, just out of pure curiosity. You know what I mean? Because I know each batch will vary. Each batch that I do, because the diet may have been a little different that week. You know, I had kale in season, so all of my kale pieces that I took stragglers off and threw it in there, those won't be in there. Or maybe I ate 10 bananas this month versus 20 the last month. Who knows? But I think it'll be a really good idea, or cool, to see what the soil test results are on this compost. Yeah, let me know if you're interested in seeing that. And if so, I'll do it. Is selling worms code? No, that's not code for anything I know. Anyway, you're welcome, Garden of Eden. You're very much welcome. Any other questions about worms? These are, like I said, yeah. So now I'm dealing with the lazy crew. They just, let me bring you in there. These guys, they just don't, they get lazy. You know, they don't want to move down. They keep just, they'll like just move to the part of the compost that's not exposed to light instead of driving down like they should. Like I said, this took me an hour and a half to do. About an hour and a half to do, and it wasn't a big deal. I'm not in a super big rush, and they eventually make their ways themselves down anyway. And once they realize there's food down there, it's game on. Oops, I forgot that bottom rack. I'm glad I did that. That ladder rack is supposed to be on the bottom, but look how many have already moved down. Isn't that cool? That's the ladder that when they fall on the bottom rack, they actually use this ladder to climb back up. So you can see how many worms have already moved down. Of course, taking a little bit of worm castings with them. It's no big deal there. But right there, if you were to order worms, let's say you ordered 500 worms, right there, you're probably looking at 500 worms already. And that bin that was the next tray down, you saw that that was loaded with worms, right? So if this little bit that you see right there is 500 worms, imagine how many worms I have here. Because the package that they send it in is not too much bigger than that, to be honest. And then let's put you where you belong. That belongs here. And that helps them, if they happen to fall, that helps them so they can get back up. But they get lazy, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. These worms, they get lazy when it comes to moving and they full of a whole bunch of goodies. Because they'll stay down there and just eat their daggone poop. Nasty behinds. They nasty. But, yeah, I'm glad I lifted that up and checked. That's where it belongs. Yeah, super cool. Super cool, super easy. Still got 11 people in the chat. Any questions come in? Did you make a video when you first set it up? How to? I did. Video's like 5 months old, but it's like Worm Factory 360 unboxing. Is there certain materials where you see more production of castings? Not really. No, not really. What's mostly important is keeping the environment right. Don't let it get too wet. Don't let it get too dry. And make sure you feed them every 3 days, unless you're trying to force some reproduction. And if you do have to force some reproduction, then you just choke them out for a little while, make them think they're about to die. Is there certain? Yeah. Do you make a video? Oh, okay. You're gonna get the link, babe. Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Yeah. If you're in here, drop that link. True Again, heard about your channel from Lead Farmer 73. Hey, thanks for stopping in. Organic Farms LLC. True Ari. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Thanks for swinging in. What's for dinner tonight? It's actually probably going to be Applebee's. I have a taste for some Applebee's. I actually was supposed to pick what I wanted before I went live. I don't know. What do y'all usually get from Applebee's? It's been so long since I've been. How about you pick? You choose for me what's going to be dinner tonight. It's going to be some DoorDash tonight, though. I'm going to smoke some ribs tomorrow, though. Got some baby back ribs. Season them boys up. Throw them on the smoker. And I don't care for you pork haters out there. Sparingly. Riblets. Boom. That's the video for the unboxing of the Worm Factory 360. Miss Craft, you still in here? Thank you. Thank you for still hanging out. Guys, y'all gotta go over to Miss Craft channel. If you're in the gardening and you just heard about me from Lead Farmer, go check out Miss Craft. You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. You do hydroponics too, right, Miss Craft? I believe she does hydroponics. I might be mixing you up with someone else. There's so many channels out there, but I watch a lot of you guys. There's no better way to learn than literally finding creators who does good content and just watch what they do. They're literally trying to teach you and show you how to make yourself better. I'm just out here doing it real time and letting you see. Yeah, hydroponics. Yeah, there you go. That's your girl. Y'all hear that? You hear that thunder? I'm finally about to get my daggone rain. I see you, fly, over here harassing me. I ain't did nothing to y'all. Flies. Like, what is a fly's purpose? They don't pollinate, right? They landing on everything, dropping poop off everywhere, transmitting diseases. Like, what is their purpose? We don't need them to break down anything. We got worms, like helpful worms, not freaking nasty little larvae when you open your trash can and something's spoiling. What is the point in flies, house flies? What's the point? I don't get it. Everything's supposed to have, oh, you're food. You're probably food for something else. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what someone would say. You're food for something else. Yeah, good source of protein, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What we got? Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Probably do a burger from Applebee's. That whiskey burger. I really don't want any beef, especially with me about to do these ribs tomorrow. I'm probably thinking there's shrimp. There's shrimp meal. I don't know, they ain't too much better, right? Because it's fried, but I'm thinking that that shrimp meal that they got. That's probably what I'm gonna do. Like crunchy shrimp. I think that's what it's called. It's pretty straight. I'm pretty straight. Okay. Well, I'll show you one more time, and then I won't waste any more of y'all's time. But literally, this is the process. You literally just, you move it over, and more than half of them are gone now. You move it over. Be careful not to push down too much, because then you end up losing castings like you saw. But you're going to lose some anyway. You literally just move it out the way. I kind of like to clear a path. And that's why I use this second light right here. To put that fire on them. To really help them get to where they need to be. And then when I harvest it, I'll show you what I use to store them. I actually have a whole other tray, guys, because I messed up when I first started this, and I purposely didn't move. I didn't put enough stuff in there fast enough because I didn't want them to fill up too fast. I had a completely backwards thinking process, but I store them in here. I just got me one of these containers from Walmart, and now, like you see, I don't even have enough left for a brew. The way that I'm gonna do it. And I'm brewing up 17 gallons at one time tomorrow. So, but even, like, look at that. These castings, I harvest them, and the worm cocoons that were in there, they are hatching. Because there's worms in here too. And it stays living. So I took one of these containers, and I drilled some holes in it. I don't know if you can see that. I drilled some holes in it. Just so it can, dry out a little bit. And still retain some moisture. And then that's it. That's how I keep them. That's how I store them. And I put them in there because in this garage, as you can see by my face, it's hot. It's hot in here. It gets really warm in here. It doesn't get above, I don't think it ever gets above 90 degrees. And it probably never gets below, I'd probably say 50 degrees. But right here on the top, it'll tell you ideal temperature is between 80 and 40. So this is within the parameters except on the hot days, but operating temperature should be between, you can't even see it. I thought it was facing the other way, but keep your worm bin in a dry, cool location. Dry, cool location. So that is a dry, cool location. That this little room that I have in here, storage room that I have in here. And right there on the lid, it reminds you of the stuff that you don't want to put in there as far as your food list. Worms like their food chopped as small as possible. And my buddy Nate from Mostly Green, the next video you see me coming out, it'll actually be with Nate from Mostly Green. But he has a little meat grinder, right? And he pulverizes like his eggs, which I think I'm gonna pick one of those up. Because I think it'll just be better for the garden and for the bin. But he pulverized everything. Anything that he puts in there, he runs it through his little tiny meat grinder that he picked up off of Amazon. So when I pick that up, and I'll make a video and I'll show you guys how I do that. I'll probably just go live and show you how to use it real quick and how I use it with my eggshells. Because I don't really think I'll use it for anything else. Because they break everything else up just fine. Yeah. But that's pretty much it, folks. Boom. Unless we have any questions, I'm going to get going so I can get my food on the way. I can't stand flies. I know, right? All right, Miss Kraft. Thanks for stopping in. They got some shrimp tacos. Yeah, but do you really want shrimp tacos from Applebee's? They help find corpse. Yeah. Oh, they help find corpse. Is that what flies do? Well, that's what dogs can do too. I'm much more a fan of them, and they can save your lives. All right. Yeah, Gardner, I can't stand these flies either. Terrible, just terrible. All right, guys. Well, thanks for the ones who checked in and saw this. I will not pull this post down. I'll leave it up. If you missed something, you can go back and check it out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me for, what is that, 45 minutes? That's not too bad, right? Just a little 45 minutes. All right, if there's nothing else, I'm about to be gone. Yeah? Thanks for hanging out, guys. Appreciate it. Therapy session is over. Yeah.